Oh, I feel like road trips are very much the same as like one day events, unless, we're traveling across Canada or the States, like these types of things.
When I'm going to weekend getaways, again, I plan ahead. I've always been a planner. So for me, it's not exhausting because like as a kid, when our family would go to the cottage for the week at like 8 years old, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I would put together and update every summer, and I would check all the things surprising. Like, so I've been like this for a while. So to me, planning to go places and making lists is not a new thing. Like if I'm going out of country, always bringing my enzymes, a shelf-stable probiotic. I'm going to bring some type of like gut soothing support because I've definitely been poisoned a couple times by accident when I was out and about.
I might bring activated charcoal.
Activated charcoal,
kind of
yes.
Suck it up. Magnesium. I am traveling with you, honey.
Yes.
Like, love you.
You're sitting in the seat next to me. I think we can all agree that summer gets so jam-packed. It's like all of a sudden you look at your calendar and you're like, how is literally every weekend I have just with different activities?
Why it seems busier in the summer is because it's lighter out, so we can pack the day more, right? It's not cold, so we enjoy being outside. Like we'll even socialize with that neighbor.
So today's episode, everybody, is dedicated to all things travel, from one day little barbecues to out of country trips. Cris and I are going to walk through some tips that you can do to help love up on your skin, what to be eating, how to be, ordering out, what to be packing. And we're going to be giving all of the things that we do as two busy moms.
Not just that, let's think about the whole schematic of it, right? So traveling is exciting. It gets you out of that reality. It gets you out of all of the hustle and bustle and the family joint calendars and, that everything's timed. It can also be a total disaster for things like digestion and skin and energy levels should we not be prepared, right? I have fine-tuned my pre-plan routine. I need to make sure my body feels good while I'm on the go, because who likes constipation? Who likes to be stressed on everything?
Like, we're both moms. If we have to leave the house, the prep work that is involved to get a family out the door, like my husband, God bless him, he's responsible for carrying bags from the counter to the trunk starting car. On the other hand, I'm preparing for weeks in advance. I'm packing up dogs, I'm packing up children. I'm probably packing up him because God knows he didn't remember his eye contact solution.
It's a skill you foster when you become a mom. Even if you are a mom of an animal, we just have this innate manual that comes out. And we will be like, okay, do you have your shoes? Do you have your bow? Do you have your outfit? Do you have deodorant? Do you have deodorant?
So let's go through, because I think especially for moms and caregivers, we have a lot on our plate. So how can we be making this easy on ourselves? So let's start with a one day, and we're going to do weekend getaways, cottage camping, road trips, plane trips, other countries. And I want to cover nutrition, food, and skincare. So let's start with one day events. These are like your barbecues, your pool parties, your family reunions. Maybe you're going to the amusement park. Maybe you're going to the beach, like those one day family activities. Whether we're going, I always ask the host, if it's someone that's hosting, I will always ask, can I bring something to share? And 9 times out of 10, they say absolutely. And my friends are very used to me. And I'll always bring something that's big we can share with everybody that hits that like protein, veggie kind of. So it's like a big salad, some type of food that I know that I'll be able to enjoy. And then I can often enjoy the proteins at, say, a barbecue. Like I could do, like I'll do a burger without the bun or a lettuce wrap or, whatever they got available.
Same kind of ordeal. I'll ask what they're serving and then I will mimic. I'll do that and I'll just say, hey, don't worry about it. And then I'll bring something in contribution. Why? Oh, well, I don't want to put anyone out. That big but. Also, you have to set the boundary for yourself in your journey. And that is by bringing something. I always ask the kids, hey, I have to bring a side dish. What's something that you guys would be interested in? And you'd be surprised the ideas they give me, because guess what? I know they're going to eat.
Exactly. And these are our one day events. So, and again, this tip can apply to any one of these. Is Cris and I will always travel with digestive enzymes and a shelf-stable probiotic.
Yeah. In fact, I will leave the probiotic before I will ever leave the digestive enzymes.
Digestive enzymes literally live in a container in my purse. If I could only bring one thing, it would be my digestive enzymes, and I'll take the probiotic later.
Mm-hmm. I have other supplements when we go through the travel list that I'm like a diehard for, but these one day digestive, like digestive it's enzymes in my bag.
Yeah. And I'll always make sure that I eat something before we go on these, because I know, especially if you're a mom or you're a caregiver and you're running around doing all the things, you forget to eat and then you get in your car and you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. I think I might murder somebody. That's how hungry I am. I will make like a quick smoothie. I love like a good grass-fed beef stick. I'll keep this in my purse. Anything that I can quickly munch on in the car, so I'm not going anywhere starving. And then if it's things like amusement parks, beaches, if it's a beach where you can generally bring your food, so I'll pack. Again, I'll do like hummus and crackers, and I'll maybe do some meat sticks, and we'll do like a fruit salad. Maybe like I'll prep some sandwiches on like a gluten-free bread. Like I'll make sure like I prep some things. And then the same thing, if it's like an amusement park. So like we have Canada's Wonderland closest to us. And if we're going to Wonderland, I know there's in-and-out privileges. So like I'll again pack some snacks for the car, and then we can go back, because especially Canada's Wonderland, there is basically no options if you're celiac ever.
So travel schedules, what we have to realize is they're unpredictable. So you're going to somebody's house, and if you're like me, some days we have to eat at 3:30, and sometimes days I might have the privilege at like eating like a normal family at 5 because of programs. So we don't know what other people eat. And when there is a group or like a little event and these types of things, food does get pushed. So if you think you're eating at 5, you might be eating at 6:37. This is why we are going to eat something ahead of time to satiate us. I am 1 day, 10 days, 100 days, I am packing my bag with those snacks, like you said, right?
Skincare wise, it's simple. You just do your regular skincare, but don't forget your sunscreen, because you're going to be out all day. And when you're doing your skincare in the morning, remember, after you've put your moisturizer on, put your face sunscreen on your face, your neck, and your chest. And then before you leave, or whenever you get there, you can be putting on your body sunscreen. It's always the worst is when you forget it. And make sure you're reapplying
There's a face sunscreen and a body sunscreen.
Yeah, Cris, welcome.
Why?
Because the face sunscreen
I can't wait for this.
Is formulated for your face. So it's going to be gentler on your pores. And then a body sunscreen is going to be for your body. And because there's good marketing. So I like to apply a face sunscreen because it's generally not as thicker as a body sunscreen. So if I'm going to be going out for the day, of course, I've applied my face sunscreen, and then I'll bring my body sunscreen. And then sometimes my face gets gross because I'm sweating during the day, is I'll bring like a nice mist. Like I'll bring one of my facial mists. I love like a hypochlorous acid spray, like the Clear Stems skin spray all day. Love that one.
What about rose hip spray?
You mean like a rose water spray? Because rose hip would be an oil. Yeah, like a rose. Yeah, some type of, I've seen grape spray, a hypochlorous spray. I have one from Eminence that's a stone crop spray. Any of those like refreshing misting sprays, I'll always have one of those in my bag. So let's move on to weekend getaways. These are your bachelorette parties. These are your girls' weekends. This is maybe a soccer tournament with your kids. What are you doing on a weekend getaway?
This is where I'm actually planning way more. This is where I'm doing more than like the little something to eat. I have a food list. I'm going grocery shopping probably 2 days before. I'm going to wash everything. I'm going to pack it. I'm not going to cut everything, like these types of things. I am definitely going to take food for the car. I'm not getting caught in that drive-through, the screaming kid, I'm so hungry, but you're old enough to cook for yourself situation. So I will cut up some. Either when I say cold cuts, I don't mean like the deli meat, but I mean like real, like the Beretta meat sticks or something like that. I do the crackers and the veg and the hummus and everything like that because it's light, it's portable, it can go through the car. The chances of it tipping and spilling and being a nuisance is limited. That's big in my world. Welcome to Cris, likes everything clean, right? Water. Everybody's going to have like their water. This is 100% way more planning.
I've always been a planner. So for me, it's not exhausting because like as a kid, when our family would go to the cottage for the week at like 8 years old, I had an Excel spreadsheet that I would put together and update every summer, and I would check all the things surprising. Like, so I've been like this for a while. So to me, planning to go places and making lists is not a new thing. When I'm going to weekend getaways, again, I plan ahead. So let's say you're going somewhere like a girls' weekend, you're going to a bachelorette, like you're doing something, you're going out, maybe a weekend getaway with your partner. I will always look like, okay, where are we staying? I'm going to be looking at restaurants in the area. So I'm looking at menus. I'm like, oh, this place would be good. So I'm doing that additional research. What places could I eat? Is there a grocery store in the area where I can get some fresh foods? Can I pre-buy some things? And like you said, pre-make things. I have hydration, all that kind of good stuff.
Fruits are easy, quick grab. The other thing with weekend getaways, because they're short, is depending on what you're staying in, right? If we are in a hotel, we want to look for a fridge.
Like, I'm not one that likes to be cooking if I don't have to when I'm away. So I will also be the one that is looking at Uber Eats and be like, what can I Uber eat to this hotel in the area?
No, I bring, not when the kids are smaller, I bring a mini convection oven, right? But I have all the meals prepped. So if I have my lasagna, I'm just putting it into the oven, right? So everything's prepped. And it was harder when they were younger. When we go to the States and travel, it was a lot harder because you're looking up. I don't know if you've seen, sorry, my lovely Americans, but I'm just going to let you know, a lot of your restaurants serve 3 times the amount of food.
Oh my goodness, they way too much food
to any Canadian restaurant.
Wait, the first time I ever went to the States and I ordered something, I was like, no, I'm sorry. Like, I wanted like the portion for one. And they were like, no, this is it. I'm like,
and it's a third of the price.
What do you mean?
So I love, when I travel to the United States, I love eating at the restaurants. Why? Because I have 3 meals right there for a fraction of the price. Or you know what? I'll bring a little like magic bullet or blender, because I sometimes travel with the protein powder if it's a quick fix, like these types of things, because I don't want to be without. So if I start to have my own little hangry meltdown, or I start to see mood shift, I'm like, oh, let's just get this going. It's easy, it's quick, it's simple. And I bring a drying rack because yes, I will wash dishes inside the bathroom if I have to. And it's not all the time. However, if I've already done my prep and there's not a lot of restaurants, and some of them are very remote areas, right?
For sure. If it's more remote, I would generally probably bring a few more things, or I will often stop on the way. So like when we went to Blue Mountain last fall, Paige and I stopped at a Goodness Me on our way up to Blue Mountain and got some snacks and some groceries that we brought with us. All right, so next is going to be cottages and camping. Now, I excel at cottaging because I've been doing it since I was 8. Honest to God, ask my mother-in-law. Like, I excel in this realm.
At what? Cottage?
At cottaging, like at packing for cottaging, at like
unpacking
you said when we get
camping
there.
too.
Oh, not camping. No. So I actually don't think I've been camping since I took the outdoor ed program in grade 12 called Outbound, and I had to go winter camping, backpacking through Temagami and Cottaging in Algonquin.
And you only did it for a boy. So as we move
my
on,
boyfriend at the time was taking it. I couldn't be without him for a whole semester, so I took it.
Okay. So camping is A-okay. This is obviously where we're not bringing stuff to plug in, but we're going to get portable cook things. We're going to get disposables, your bamboo little forks if you want to be sustainable, these types of things. This is multiple. So now you're looking at grocery stores because Uber Eats is not coming in the back 40.
There's different levels of camping, like from what I hear from Paige. Are you camping where there's services where you can use the bathroom facilities and there's like an outlet at your camp? Or are you like backwoods camping where like you're digging a hole behind a tree and like you have no electricity, you're cooking on a fire type of thing? I know skincare wise, this is where you could be using like cleansing wipes, like micellar water cleansing wipe. This is where you could be using like a hypochlorous acid spray with a cleanser, and then using, making sure you're bringing your SPF and for your face and your body.
Water. Like make sure you are around potable water so that you can wash your hands, because when, no matter how much we try not to, we touch our face a lot, especially in the warmer climate.
Especially when you're camping, you can still bring fresh foods, but you want to be eating them within like the first day or two, because I'm assuming you generally will have them on ice or some way of keeping them cold. So if you bring fresh foods, you can cook those in the first few days. And then you're probably leaning more on shelf-stable items for the rest of your time there. So let's go over to cottaging, because our family's done it yearly. My husband has a share and hunt camp that we go up to a little bit past Perry Sound. So this is where I'm putting a lot of planning into cottaging. I'm getting my spreadsheet out. What I will actually do first is I will look at how many days we're there and whether we're going with ourselves or friends or family or whatever. And then I'll write out like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack for over, say, the 5 days that we're gone. And then I will fill in the dinners that we want to have. And I'll take into consideration, like when we get there, I'll probably have prepped something. Like I will always pre-make a lasagna the day before, so that when we get to the cottage, I can put it in while we're unpacking. Maybe I get like a couple frozen pizzas on the day that we're leaving because I don't want to have any garbage. So then I plot all of the things that we're going to eat, and I don't make something new every time because there's always going to be leftovers generally. So most of the lunches will either be leftovers from the night before, or there'll be like more of like a snack plate, like a charcuterie, kind of pick what you want. And I like to make them really easy meals as well. Like I will actually also pre-make burgers that I'll freeze. Like I said, I'll pre-make a lasagna. I pre-make any of salad dressings that we're going to need.
You bring a lasagna to the cottage. Could that be why the boat is?
No. But the lasagna comes because it is a family tradition. When we started going to cottages when I was 8 years old, it was because my grandparents, my nonna, every year would get the entire family cottage trip to the same cottage place every year. And my nonna would make 2 lasagnas and we would have them under the trees on the first night. So for me, it's a nostalgic thing.
Do you do it under the trees now?
Yeah. I even use her pan. I use her pots and utensils to make it. I use her recipe.
Oh, so I know you are very like in the zone.
Yeah, it's something I'll always do because it reminds me so much of her and I miss them so much. So I'll pre-make lasagna. I'll pre-make salad dressings. I also like to pre-make skewers, like chicken skewers with veggies.
And the other thing, no matter where you're traveling, if you are transporting by vehicle and you are with kids, one of the number one things I'm going to give you the advice is cut it up. If it's cut up, they will eat it. I don't know what
it is.
This magic power is. Like, you bring whole apples, no one's touching it. Those things are going to be bashed and we're going to throw them out. You cut the apples, you cut the watermelon, you cut the pineapple. They will gobble that up. You will think that there was wild animals that came and devour it. A whole food, forget it.
Yeah. So and then skincare. I am quite minimalist when I go to the cottage. My morning and evening routine will generally differ when I'm at home because I have different items that I use, but I want to keep it easy. So I'm bringing the same cleanser. I'm probably just going to bring one serum, a moisturizer, and an SPF, and we're going to call it a day. And oftentimes I will bring a bunch of like some sample sizes of a cleanser, a serum, and a moisturizer just because they're small sizes. Okay, road trips.
I feel like road trips are very much the same as like one day events, unless, we're traveling across Canada or the States, like these types of things. However, I have a cooler that you plug in and it can be warm holding or it can be cool holding like a fridge.
I love those ones. We had one growing up.
It's a non-negotiable.
Mm-hmm.
And we are reloading as we travel. So again, just like we said, for everything, I'm going to one day event. We are going to get in the car. We are going to eat everything. I'm going to know stops along the way. I'm going to have food already cut up. I'm going to bring as much disposable things I can. We don't want to perpetuate stress. The other thing is we can plan as much as we want. But you know what? When nature calls, nature calls. So please don't hold it. We don't want UTIs. Please don't hold your fecal matter, right? Because the unicorn, she gets angry.
Well, did you know that, because we drive a lot to the cottage, it's far and sometimes there's no bathrooms, is on Amazon disposable like pee bags. They're in my car. You gotta go. You don't want to hold it. Disposable pee bags. That comes with a little piece of toilet paper in it and you just seal it. You throw it out. Road trips I'll be similar. I will, pre-prep a bunch of snacks, but let's also, because very similar to Cris, but I also want to talk about like, what do we do when we're in those instances where like we've run out of food? Your children ate through all of the snacks too quickly. Because you got stuck in traffic on the 400 for 7 hours and then you're out of food and your family's like, if I don't eat something, I'm going to like strangle my brother in the back. Like, our options are limited. What are you doing? Oh, I will stop and eat.
You know what I mean? And we know Katie's getting fries, let's be honest. So
I was just going to say, if like there was one spot on our way back from the cottage and one time we were out of food, we had literally no food left. I was on my wit's end. I'm pretty sure I wanted to kill my husband. My kids were like at each other's throats and I'm like, we all need to eat right now. And I Googled all the different fast food places that was there to look up which fries were gluten-free. And my husband's like, you are wild right now. And we all got gluten-free fries because that was the only thing that was open. We didn't have access to like a grocery store.
Oh, absolutely. But things happen, right? So even if you get, like you said, that burger without the bun, it's a matter of just asking questions. Hey, listen, I'm in a snag. Where's the nearest grocery store?
I will always go to the grocery store. I'll get that rotisserie chicken. I'll grab a tub of hummus. I'll grab some crackers. But I had been in instances where that was not an option.
100%. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen. And
that grocery store is going to be closed.
And the grocery store was closed.
Or it's like in renovation mode. Or like you have to forecast. So again, just get some dry food, some, non-perishable items, travel with it, be prepared as much as you can. And for road trips, I can't wait to hear your skincare.
If I had to do my skincare in the car, I would probably use a cleansing wipe. I use my hypochlorous acid spray and then put a moisturizer on.
I feel like I need that spray because you have said it probably about 14 times.
My favorite one is the Clear Stem. I'm going to put it in the show notes, is the Clear Stem skin spray all day. It has magnesium, it's a hypochlorous acid spray. There's peptides. I love it. And if you're looking from ones, because Clear Stem is really hard to get in Canada, but if you go to Sephora, Tower 28 makes a really great spray. And I believe they have a mini one as well.
They do.
Yeah, I have a mini one you can get.
Because it's upstairs.
Because your girls have it. So there's been instances we've stopped and the only option was like a Subway. I've had that instance where it was the only thing, nothing else was open for kilometers and kilometers. And my kids, we ended up getting a gluten-free sub that had like no cheese, no sauces. I've been in that situation before, but I want to share these things so people aren't like, oh my God, they're so prepared. I want people to realize like real life situations happen. And there's some instances where I haven't been able to do the things I would rather want to do.
I'm immediately going in fasting mode and I'm hydrating.
I'm one of those people that if I don't eat, I start to feel nauseous and gag and I will throw up and I get a severe headache. My blood sugar does not like it. So I'm like, you want to know what? I'm going to pick the lesser of the evils. I'm going to take my enzymes and I'm going to take my supplements when I get home. But if I don't, I will literally die here on the side of the road.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like, listen, it's just not worth it. I will make it happen. Like,
if I can make it happen, I will.
I won't even, like, if it's on the Dirty Dozen, like the environmental working group, if it's on the Dirty Dozen and that's all they have in the store for some reason is the Dirty Dozen, I'm taking water because some of it is my boundary. Some of it is my commitment to myself, right? I don't want to destabilize my blood sugar. But
plane trips. So I can't
give Pearson kudos.
Oh, Pearson's been great.
Because you can eat
anything. Like I can eat at Pearson.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know what Pearson is, it's the Toronto International Airport.
Which is in Mississauga, so I don't know why they
I know. It's in Mississauga. It's not in Toronto, but that's fine.
That's so weird. So that, however, when I flew last year into Vancouver, nothing. It was hard.
Into Kelowna, the tiny little Kelowna airport, and I was able to find something, I think breakfast wise. I was able to get eggs and hash browns.
Okay. Maybe if I was already past that. So essentially I did plain chips.
Lay's plain chips. There's a gas station option.
And because my blood sugar, which is not good, at this point I'm like, oh my gosh, I did a Starbucks refresher.
You did not. I'm shocked, Cris.
How
much you hate refreshers.
And I sipped it nice and slow. And I do. I'm just not have no brand loyalty to that place at all. And I sipped it nice and slow so that I wouldn't. So you know what I mean? You see how you play with it, but it was enough that I was getting something sweet, falsifying. I was creating saliva. I was keeping it in my mouth. Like I had a plan.
Did you know that Frankie calls Starbucks Mama's store? And not because I go there, like we rarely, like maybe once or twice a year. And we couldn't figure out why he kept being like, Mama's store, Mama's store. And then
when he threatened to be a barista there.
No. He had a cup once and he goes, look, it's Mama. And he thinks I'm the Starbucks lady on the logo.
Oh, you're the mermaid.
He thinks I have because I wear my hair like that all the time. So he thinks I'm the Starbucks lady.
Well, yeah, you are.
And I was like, you know what, buddy? I can see that, sweetie. That's really sweet. But I'm not the Starbucks lady.
Store.
Yeah, it's not Mama's store. So,
and that's good because that child really would sell you for a half-eaten bag of Doritos.
He would. He prefers my husband any day of the week. I am chopped liver to my
That's because
toddler.
You make him wear shoes too.
That's school. I know. So if I am traveling, like Pearson's been great, so I never have issues there. I'll generally grab a Starbucks because I'm not able to get my morning matcha. And I need some type of, something to get me going through the day. So I will get an almond milk latte with a honey packet, not a syrup. And if I go in any of those little like airport things, if they have hummus, I will get because a lot of places have hummus. And then I generally won't eat the crackers because I'm celiac, so I can't. But I'll get a bag of chips and eat that with it. I've seen I
didn't think about that.
Yeah, get a bag of chips and buy the hummus. Don't eat the crackers. I give them to my husband.
Heck yeah.
Whatever. And then like I've seen meat sticks, and I've been seeing a lot of, my kids love the everything bagel cashews from, what is it? Hand fuel.
I haven't seen.
I've seen hand fuel in airports. I even saw hand fuel in Cancun, the Cancun airport. When we were there.
I've seen like the pistachio, cashew, wasabi, or
I'll
like,
get those.
Yeah,
I'll do that. And then generally at the airports, I can find a breakfast place because of the eggs are going to be gluten-free. And I always ask if they have gluten-free hash browns. And, a lot of places will have like, I've been like Pearson before. My only option was a booster juice. So I'll get like one of the more veggie-based booster juices. So that's what I'll do while I'm traveling. And then when I am going on a trip, because I go to LA quite often for work things, and I like to only bring a carry-on. I bought one of those like clear 1 liter bags that zips from Amazon. And then I have to be very selective. So again, I'm not bringing my whole skincare routine. I'm bringing the bare minimum. And again, this is where I'm going to use the travel sizes or the samples. So I've got a lot of samples. I'll bring those in because they fit in nice and tiny. Or I have actually, I'll use this opportunity to try different skincare lines that have a travel kit. So I'll buy their travel kit and use that. So I'll generally pack those for my skincare.
I bring bars of shampoo. Like I'm big on that. I have been for a while. They last a long time. Your hair feels so clean. It's amazing.
Now let's talk about other countries. What are we eating in other countries? And this is very dependent on the country that you're going to. Because if I go to LA, what I'm eating in LA is going to be a heck of a lot different than if I'm going to Mexico. They're going to Cancun.
I really love when people try cultural food as much as they can because you're going there. If you're in hot, I look for cooling foods. If I'm in cold, I look for warming foods. I just try and keep it really balanced.
Eating the foods that are from that area. Like if we go to Mexico, I'm always eating whatever is in season there, whatever they have at the resort or whatever. And like whenever we go to stay somewhere, I'm always looking for I'm reading the reviews on these hotels and resorts, and they like, because I'm celiac, I have to make sure there's gluten-free options. So I'm reading the reviews, making sure there was options, what people said about those different options and how serious they took things. I've actually never gone like outside of North America. I've never had the opportunity to go to Europe or anywhere. So if any Europeans listening, let me know if I can come visit. Oh, and if I am going to other countries, again, I'm going to be looking at what we're staying, what restaurants are in the area, what's being served. So that way I'm going in with knowledge of what is available. If I'm going out of country, always bringing my enzymes, a shelf-stable probiotic. I'm going to bring some type of like gut soothing support because I've definitely been poisoned a couple times by accident when I was out and about.
I might bring activated charcoal for
activated charcoal.
Kind of suck it up. Magnesium. I am traveling with you, honey.
Yes.
Like, love you.
You're sitting in the seat next to me.
I will have citrate or citrate, tomato. I will have biglycinate, enzymes.
Activated charcoal is a good one. I do always travel with activated charcoal.
Mm-hmm. Or sometimes I'm going to name drop here because I really
Cris,
like this brand. Microbiome.
Ah, yes. Microbiome Labs.
It's GI detox, and it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's a sucker upper. And I believe there's one by Biomed, just in case we want to be Canadian.
Yeah, they have a good one. I'll put that in the show notes, everybody. Okay. That was a packed episode.
Yeah.
We went through a lot.
And we have nowhere to go.
And we have nowhere to go yet. No, my summer is already packed. Let's be real.
Yeah. Anyone, just let me know. Other than BC, I'm open.
Yeah. Show up in my DMs.
Me.
Let us know if Cris and I can show up in your place, and we'll be there with bells and whistles. All right. Bye, everybody. Another episode here at the Clear Skin Chronicles. As always, follow-up questions, shoot me a DM at Katie Stewart Wellness. You need more help on your acne journey. We are always here over in the Clear Skin Solution. Check the show notes for all the things. We'll see you next week.